What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. This is your boy Narik Chase, and we are doing episode 117 of the Streamline Podcast. Now we're going to be doing something different, and I think it will work. That we're going to be using still pictures instead of me just posting my face and stuff like that. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think the picture actually looks pretty badass. But let's go ahead and stop rambling and get into the subject. 117, guys. We are going to be talking about the top 10 things I want from the Fallout 3 remaster slash remake. Look, I was originally going to do the video, but I decided since we had the big breaking news that they are going to be remastering Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, that I want to give my thoughts. And I have a lot of thoughts, which I probably will do a separate video concerning remaster, and all of the controversy surrounding it. But we will talk about that later. Now we are going to be talking about the top 10 things that I want from Fallout 3 remaster slash remake. Let's go ahead and count those bad boys down. So going out down, number 1. I would like to have a better faction system within the game. Now, each game does have factions, and they do allow you to join any of these factions. The two prominent ones within Fallout 3 are the Brotherhood of Steel as well as the Enclave, and you can join both. But I feel like there was not a good balance of that in the original game, because really you can only join the Enclave pretty much at the end of the game, and Brotherhood of Steel you can only pretty much join them about halfway through. So what I would like for them to do this time around concerning the Brotherhood and the Enclave is they give you that choice earlier on in the game, potentially them attempting to recruit you when you step outside of the vault. Now, stepping outside of the vault is a learning experience for players who are learning about the world, the Capital Wasteland, the different factions, the survival of the fittest, elements with the creatures and stuff, the different raiders, different smaller factions within the game. But I think it would do a better job of creating a more unique experience if we could play the game from the standpoint of the Brotherhood and the Enclave at the beginning of the game. And I think that would definitely change the gameplay, depending on like the different side quests, the different weapons you're able to get, the different characters that you can have, the different companions that you can work with. I think that would definitely introduce a more dynamic expectation in terms of the gameplay. But not only that, there are other groups within the game. You have the Brotherhood Outcasts, you have the Slavers, Rivet City, Megaton. I think also that it would be great for, like, Riley's Rangers who are in the game. You'd be able to befriend them earlier on, so that way you can utilize possibly a companion from their group. I think that'll work as well. Brotherhood Outcasts, if say you either join the Brotherhood Outcasts or you join the Brotherhood, and you could potentially get the Brotherhood Outcasts to rejoin the Brotherhood. Like, things like that would make for very compelling storytelling if we can go ahead and work it out. Megaton, you can actually be able to befriend more characters within Megaton, build it up, make it a central hub, make it what is the city in Fallout 4? Diamond, make Megaton the Diamond City of Fallout 3. I think that would work out if we could have unique quests that'll help unify and fortify Megaton City. I think that'll work. Perhaps potentially stop the Brotherhood from attacking it, kind of have its own Bunker Hill mission within the game, protected from super mutants, protected from raiders, protected from the Enclave. Or if you're the Brotherhood, you can convince Megaton to actually allow them to join you, have the oversight of the Brotherhood, potentially do the same thing with the Enclave. Basically, I want stronger faction systems within the game, and of course, the relationship you have with one would definitely hurt the relationship you have with the other. Kind of have this kind of turf war going on. Maybe you can convince Megaton to join the Brotherhood, to join the Enclave, Rivet City to join the Enclave, the Brotherhood. I think that would definitely make the faction system better. And of course, there's the good morality, the good and the bad morality, and that does affect the gameplay. But ultimately, I do think that the faction system can work, and particularly how other people within the game, the different places that you go to, the different people that you interact with, the companions that you have, basically whoever whichever faction you do deal with, there is kind of, in fact, they should adopt that faction system pretty much from the Fallout New Vegas system of, whoever you're dealing with, everybody around you should, all of the NPC characters should look at you depending on who you're with. I think the faction system definitely needs to be reworked. I think it was probably one of the most underutilized systems in Fallout 3. For as great as that game was, the faction system definitely needs a revamp. Now, move on to number 2. Fallout 3 has had a lot of great monsters, creatures within the game, but I would like to see them again adopt something that was within Fallout 4 and Fallout New Vegas, and that is kind of like the different life stages of the creatures that we've seen within Fallout New Vegas. When you came to Deathclaws, you saw 3 different variants. No, I believe 5 different variants of the Deathclaws. You saw the younglings, you saw the adolescents, you saw the adults, you saw the alphas, you saw the matriarchal ones. With the mole rats, you saw the baby mole rats, you saw the bigger mole rats. When you look at the geckos, you saw the small geckos, you got the big geckos. I think in Fallout and in Fallout 4, you saw the little baby mirelurks, and you saw the big mirelurks. Just introduce a great new faction with different life stages for some of these creatures. When you got the gulpers that are in Fallout 4, you got the small ones, you got the big ones. When you look at what's the big shellfish thing? They use the cars as like a shell. I can't remember what it's called. Hermit crab, the big hermit crab things. You saw the baby variants of that. The mirelurks, you saw the mirelurk queens. So I want them to create a bit of variety. And also, I think that'll work as a very strong like slice of life thing where it shows that these creatures have different life stages and stuff. You saw the eggs, and like even when you go to Deathclaw Sanctuary in Fallout 3, yeah, you see the big the giant Deathclaws, but if this is a city full of Deathclaws, you would expect them to sound like little baby ones. And maybe it wasn't just a thing at the time that they even thought about, but hey, it would be nice if they had with the remaster / remake, that they would explore that, because that would add a bit of variety to the game as well. Also, this is something I think that started in Fallout 3, which one of the things I did like is in the game, you have to kind of maintain your weapons as well as the clothing that you wear due to getting worn down from combat and stuff like that, which was a great mechanic. You saw it again be a bit more refined in Fallout New Vegas, specifically with the weapon customization, which was awesome, made great with the weapons and the ammo customization. And then in Fallout 4, you got a bit more customization with the weapons and the clothing and the gear and stuff like that. But Fallout 76 took it even further, and they allowed you to have schematics to build weapons based off the stuff the trash and the loot and stuff that you had. You can build weapons, you can build outfits and gear. That's what we need in this remaster as well. Yes, do the thing where we can sit here and repair our outfits, repair the weapons and stuff, but also I think it'd be a fantastic job to allow players to just get all of this trash and stuff, use it to actually build and get schematics, because I believe you can get schematics for weapons in that game. I believe it's been a while since I played it, but it was either New Vegas or it was that one. You do get schematics to build weapons, or maybe I'm getting my games mixed up. But I feel like you can get schematics to build weapons, but it would be nice to actually, if it didn't have it, maybe I'm getting my games mixed up again, but you should be able to build weapons like that. You should be able to the scavenging mechanics of Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, and that would again help people get more engaged with more of the RPG elements of the game, allow people to actually explore, because maybe there's certain materials that you can only get in certain spots. Maybe you need Mirelurk shell, but a specific Mirelurk, but you'd have to go deep into the Mirelurk's like habitat, environment, home, and all of that stuff. Like, I think that would be fantastic if they could focus on that. With us, I don't like Fallout 76, and it's mainly because of the online connectivity thing. I absolutely hate that with a passion, but I have to give it to them. The absolute most innovative mechanic is in that game that I've seen. I've actually played it. I have played some of it, I'm not going to lie. But the best mechanic in that game, honestly, is the custom, the weapon and gear builds and customization. It's fantastic. It's just I think they will do a great job of implement. Hopefully, they do a great job of implementing that in Fallout 3. Now, another interesting thing that I do want in Fallout 3, and this will be number 4, are deeper and longer companion quests. I like the companions in Fallout 3. I think that some of them are some of my favorites. I want deeper, longer companion quests, and not only that, I do want to have them have a stake in the actual main story, because a lot of these games, when you have companions, when major events are happening, you don't really get their point of view of what's going on. When you're joining certain factions, they really don't have an opinion on it. Basically, the companions themselves need to have a bit more than just to be an tag along. If you're a brotherhood and you decide you want to join the brotherhood, because like in Fallout 3 you have companions, you can only you get companions based on your morality. If you're evil, there are some companions that'll work with you, like Jericho, and I believe the girl, the slave chick, I think she's one of them as well. And then when you're neutral, you got some that are you can't get companions that are evil or good. You can only get companions that are neutral. And then when you're good, of course, you can get companions that are good. So I think that should definitely work into play. And as I've said, I would like for them to allow players to join the Enclave, and that way, and be open to a companion from the Enclave. If you look at Fallout 4, they had a great, pretty rounded roster of companions. When you got Dance, who's with the Brotherhood of Steel. Unfortunately, the way that played out, it should have been you actually join the Brotherhood of Steel, and that opens you up to Vance. But I don't think that's the. I think it might be the case. I'm not sure, but I don't think that is the case. No, I don't think that is the case. I think he can become your companion even if if you don't join the Brotherhood. And then you got the X33. That guy, you can only get him if you join, I believe, the Institute. So like things like that. Things like that. If we can go with that, have say each faction has a specific character. That specific character has certain weapons and certain perks that would definitely help your gameplay and all of that. Then they'd be like, cool. I don't mind doing something like that. But I do want the characters to have deeper, longer quests, and I don't want it to be just one long quest. I want it to be, okay, say you get Jericho. No, you get Butch, because Butch becomes one of your companions. You say you get a quest with Butch. You do his first quest, and then when you make it through a certain part of the game, it initiates another quest that he has going on. And then when you get done with that, go ahead and play the game. Then when you get to another point in the progression of the game and the story, again, that's another quest that gets initiated. So I think that'll also make it really cool with the character. It makes you more endeared to the characters, because the game is showing that they got stuff going on within the game. So I don't mind it. I think that's actually a great idea. I started to really think this because in Fallout 3, characters do have quests, but honestly, they're not as memorable as I feel like they should be. But then you got Fallout New Vegas, the character quests get more deeper. You start to learn more about them. You start to like them more, be more attached to them. Like the girl that's with the Brotherhood of Steel in I can't remember her name right now. The girl that's in the Brotherhood of Steel in New Vegas, she and then you go down her quest, which leads you to the Brotherhood of Steel quest, and how she reviews the Brotherhood faction that she's with. Like, stuff like that is just great. The thing with Lily and her memories and her origins and her backstory, great, absolutely great. Sunny, what's the Rose Cassidy? Her story with her father and what was going on with the caravans. Like, if you do it right, I think that can be absolutely. Because think about it. When you are playing with Hawk in Fallout 3, which is a super mutant, and honestly the best side character to have in any game, because he wrecks everything. But you get to dive. What if you dove into more of his origins, where he came from, what happened to him, how he became a super mutant? Like, that'd be interesting. Just like Strong in Fallout 4. I think it would have been pretty cool if we dove into how he became a super mutant, get more of his backstory like that. There are some interesting side quests and storylines for the supporting characters, excuse me, the companions in Fallout New Vegas and 4. But I think if we give more stake to these characters within the main story as well as the side stories, it'll be great. Because, like, honestly, like, Kate and Piper are my two favorite characters within Fallout 4. Love them. They're my favorite companions. But if you look at the main story, Piper should have more of a stake in the main story, but she really doesn't. Just like when you go into the Institute, there's not really like this big, impactful quest that launches with her. And I think that's most unfortunate because her story does start off with what the Institute's been doing, replacing people with the synthetics and stuff like that. So just, I want there to be more. Honestly, I want there to be more when it comes to our companions. And the morality thing, I'm good with, having evil, good, neutral, and having certain companions who will join you through which one of the, it's not faction, it's not morality, it's the, I cannot remember what the damn system is called now. But where if you're evil, you get access to the evil, the bad ones, and if you're good, you get access to the good. Also, it should also play with the factions you join as well. So I want to see where they go with that. Now, coming in at number 5, this is probably maybe controversial, but I think if you refine it better, it'll work. Because Fallout 4 had a lot of great ideas, even though some of the execution wasn't good. I believe we should definitely have settlement building, but I want it to be less expensive than it was at 4, because 4 was just absolutely fantastic with the settlement building. The problem is it was too much, and then the main story it took away from the game because of, you join the Minutemen, and it's always a settlement needing something, no matter how much stuff it didn't matter how many weapons you put up there, the turrets, how well equipped everybody was, no matter if you had all the beds, water, food, electricity, there was always somebody saying that needed your help because Mirelurks was attacking. It's like, and then when you get there, it's like 3 Mirelurks, and you're like, seriously, I got like 13 missile launching turrets, y'all got power armor, the best weapons in the game, and y'all constantly, and it's 3 Mirelurks, and it's like 40 of y'all, and y'all constantly calling me, talking about some of this, like, if you can not do that, which I think is a good idea if they're not, if the settlement, if there's not a lot of people, if it doesn't have a lot of defenses, if it doesn't have enough food, bedding, I get that. But if you do, they shouldn't be calling you like every 5 minutes. Like, there should be something different going on, especially if you can boost up the defense enough to where they can stand on their own. Cool. But settlement building out, I'm for. Maybe do like in Skyrim where there's like, you can build your own house, but there's certain locations you can do, and there's certain things you can do. Hey, in Fallout 3, have like 5 locations, and you can either focus on 1, focus on 5, focus on 3 of them, have people come there and stuff, and that'll be it. You don't have to have 40 of them like in Fallout 4. They don't need to be calling you every 5 minutes and stuff like that. But also, maybe why not introduce a new vault? Let that vault be where you build, because the vault building within Fallout 4, great idea. A little bit too open-ended, but still a good idea. And do this exact same thing. You can design the vaults, maybe not make it as expensive with others, but at least have some building capacity to it, some customization to it, give players a sense of freedom with that. And I think that'd be an absolute gem idea if we could work that into the game. Either have the vote, well, maybe maybe not the vote itself. I think the vote would actually be interesting. You can substitute the settlement for the votes, or make that be all encompassing. Have the vote too and the settlement. Or why not have a vote and build a settlement on top of it? In fact, I think that'd be a really good customization idea if they did that. Have a settlement, but underneath the settlement have a vote. And while you're building the settlement, you can build a vote too. That would be very smart. They definitely need to do that. But I'm not against the settlement building. You can actually recruit people. You can recruit. If you join the faction, they can set up camp there. They can help protect it. That's a good idea. Good for resource management. All of the stuff. One of the biggest problems with Fallout is you collect so many power armors, weapons and stuff. All this loot, and you ain't got nowhere to put it. But if you could do your own settlement, you have somewhere you can put it. You can build turrets. Which, like I said, I like the settlement building within the Fallout. It doesn't necessarily need to be as open as it was in Fallout 4. Like, I'm good with, you have pre-established certain settings. Like, okay, if there's a plot of land, give me a wall I can build around it. Like an automatic wall I can build around it. So at least I know what the space is, and then I can kind of do my thing within that wall. But I don't need it to be like, okay, I have to put each individual panel in and all like that. I don't need that. It could just be, hey, let me build a wall, and that wall, it could be small, it could be medium, or it could be large, and each size can scale what I can and can't do. So there's a lot they can play with. There's a lot to consider with that. But I'm not against settlement building. I'm not. Or hell, have a pre-established one, but you can upgrade it. That's a good way too. That's a great idea as well too. So number 6, what I think would work. This is something I wish they had done in Fallout 4, is have the Raiders and Super Mutant be organized. One of the things Fallout 4 has that I thought was pretty cool is several Raider factions. You had the guys that were set in the Forge. So they used like fire. Thought that was actually pretty cool. You had the Dust Devils, which used robot parts and stuff like that. That was actually pretty cool. So we need things like that to go on too. We need several different factions of the Raiders, but also let them be organized. We saw that when we were playing the Nuka World. That there were certain factions, different factions that were organized. They had leaders. We need that. Have leaders. Yes, if you have it to where you can kind of work out. If you play the game right, you can work out with them. Or maybe if you're evil, you can actually work with the Raiders. You can negotiate with them. You can team up with them. Again, that gives you perks with other Raiders. You can unify them. You can have them to fight. Just great ideas concerning this. This definitely has potential. And then the super mutants, have them, yes, super mutants are brutes, but they do show intelligence. Maybe they don't, and I would do the brutes personally. I do them like what the little Nemesis program thing that they had in, what's that game? Shadow of Mordor. Have them be like different, have them be like one group of super mutants. There's the leader. The people that's the super mutants lead them, and have him have generals. When you kill off a general, there's a bunch, or have them occupy spaces. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Have the super mutants themselves occupy certain spaces, which is led by a general, and then there's a capital or a main base of the super mutants. And then when you knock off those super mutants, you can free that space up, and good guy Raiders can take over it. Super mutants can come back and take over it. But if you kill the general super mutant, then that weakens them because they have less leaders, and you keep doing that. I think that would be cool too. That would give depth to the super mutants. That would show intelligence. It would show organization, and not them just running around. Like, what's that vault in Fallout 3 where they make the super mutants? That should be like their base. And you should, and there should be the strongest super mutants there. The super mutant behemoths should be there. The super mutant leaders should be there, and then the generals and stuff are all spread across the wasteland. So it should kind of be like this cool organized campaign against the wasteland where the super mutants are fighting the raiders, the innocents, the brotherhood, the enclave, the outcasts. Like that right there would be freaking phenomenal if we could get something like that going on within the game. And coming in at number 7, of course, Fallout 4 introduced the best mechanic, the power armor mechanics. We definitely need to bump up with the graphics and stuff. We definitely need the power armor mechanics within that game. But I'd also like to see a bit more customization with that as well. That's probably one of the biggest things, because it had impact. When you were fighting, it definitely made you feel powerful. It made enemies feel very powerful. And I think that'll definitely do a fantastic job of allowing players to dive into the game, seeing some of the originality of 3, but also one of the better mechanics within 4. So I would definitely mind doing that. I'd also like to see some interesting things, interesting ways that they could potentially play with the power armor as well. Fallout 4, we saw some of the raiders use power armor as well, so that'd be pretty cool. But I'd also like some of the mechanics, like possibly, what was it, the jetpack was one of my favorite things in the game. Jumping off of buildings and not dying, one of my favorite aspects of the game. When you had your helmet on, you can use that as like a light. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Like they can introduce a when you're in the power armor, you can actually walk through irradiated areas. I thought that was actually pretty cool as well. So there's a lot that they can do with that. Now, coming in at number 8, I do want to see enemy variety. So, and what do I mean by that? Let's talk about the Raiders, for instance. In Fallout 4, we saw variants in Raiders. We saw the typical Raiders. We saw the more enhanced ones with better armor and better weapons. We saw the boss ones with the power armor. That's what I want to see in this game. The same thing with the different factions of like the Brotherhood. You saw some that wore their little scribe guys. You saw some with armor. And then you saw some with power armor. The same thing with what's those mercenaries in the game? They're pretty powerful. They're douchebags, but they're pretty powerful. The one guy, one of the companions, he was with them, and he ends up joining you. I can't remember the freaking group's name, but like with them, they have people that are regular guys. They had the regular guys, the regular enemies, and then they upgraded to ones with more powerful armor, more powerful weapons, and then of course their boss ones. I had the power armor with the like missile launchers, the mini nukes, the laser gats, like, and those are just the human ones. But let's look at the potential of the creatures themselves. Fallout 4. God, I keep going back to Fallout 4 because it was a great template for so many good ideas. Like the ghouls, they had the regular ghouls, the glowing ghouls, the rabbit ghouls, they had the gangrenous ones, the big bloated ones. They had in Fallout New Vegas did like what I had said earlier with some of the death claws. They had the adult death claws, they had the alpha death claws, they had the matriarch death claws. Fallout 4 took it a bit further with the legendary, the mythic, the blind, the chameleon, the what's the other one? The glowing, the albino, the alpha. Like, that's what we need in this game. Do that with the Yalguays, do that with the scorpions. Now, I will say this. I'm on the fence because I do love the designs of the creatures in Fallout 4, but if we're going to do a remaster of 3 and possibly a remaster of New Vegas, should they upgrade the creature designs to that of Fallout, the ones from Fallout 4? personally, I think the death claws in Fallout 4 are better than the death claws in Fallout 3. Same thing with the rad scorpions, the same thing with the Mirelurks. Even with the super mutants, I think they're better designed in Fallout 4. With the behemoths too, the mole rats, I think they're all better. So that's a kind of an interesting question to kind of throw out there. Should they use the original designs of these creatures, or should they have the newer versions? And oh, don't let me forget like the ants. I want to see different variants of ants, and I do want to see a bigger ant presence because Fallout 3 has some giant ants in it, and there is an interesting story and location featuring ants. But I want to see their role be kind of expounded upon too, because I think they are completely underutilized. Yes, you get to see them in New Vegas, but again, despite the environment, I think they're still underutilized. But yeah, have regular ants, have fire ants, giant ants, soldier ants. I think they can do a lot with the variants, the enemy variants. And then if you couple that with kind of like the different stages of the creatures and stuff like that, I think that's just great. That's a customization for your butt. So, number 9. I think another interesting thing they can do, adopt Fallout 4's looting system. Every item can be used to build something, used to build something, used to craft something, or you can sell it. I think that they could go with that because it helps players. It makes players like. There's no reason to collect trash in Fallout 3. Maybe to sell it, but in actuality, there's really no reason to do it. Fallout 4 gave you a reason because you can use everything to craft in some capacity. We should do that with this game. And I've already said I want them to be weapon builds and gear builds and armor builds. Definitely, we can do a great job of allowing people to take all the trash and stuff to build and craft and to augment. We need to work on that and put that in this game. I think it'll be freaking fantastic. And lastly, I do want to see more kind of slice of life type stuff more in the game. Now, what do I mean by that? One, weather mechanics. It needs to rain. I don't mind if the rad storms come. I want to see windy days. I want to see it rain. I want to see it do heavy rain. I want it to have lightning, windy, misty, foggy. I want all of the different. I want all of it. I want all of the different weathers. I want there to be downcast days. I want it to be sunny days. I want it to be light days. I want to see it rain. Like, I think that'd be cool. I think there should be a unique mechanic as well in terms of weather. Because if you look at Fallout 4, it had the rad storms. The rad storms are kind of offshoots of the glowing sea. So maybe Fallout 3 can have that. Maybe in fact, because of the wasteland, why not have like dust storms? You're walking across this arid land, so yeah, dust storms, make that be a thing. Heavy dust storms, light dust storms, maybe even have like slight tornadoes in the background and stuff like that. I think that'll be really, really, really cool. Also, more land hazards. More cliffs, more irradiated areas. Maybe have some areas where like plant life is a bit more like it's poisonous and you can't go there until you like. If you look at Fallout New Vegas, there's a vault, and in that vault there's these mutated plants. Maybe have an area where there are mutated plants and you can't breathe there. Maybe you need a special suit, otherwise you'll get infected with like the spores or something like that. So it's like something like that. Maybe go to an area where there's like, it's very, very unstable. Rocks could come falling down on you, or you can fall down and die. Like stuff like that. Some more environmental hazards I think will work too. Rad and waters that are like irradiated are like cool. But it's not active. It seems like more of a passive thing. Maybe have certain areas where creatures are stronger because of the radiation. That actually makes sense too. Like, why not if you go to an area like a building or something and there's ghouls, the ghouls are souped up. They're stronger because of the radiation versus ones you meet out there in the wasteland where there's no radiation. So that'd be like an interesting idea too. Maybe have an area where electronics don't work or something. I think that'd be pretty cool. Those are interesting ideas that I'm throwing out there. And then, quality of life, of course, the NPCs are actually doing stuff. They're not just standing around. When it's nighttime, they go inside, they work, they build, they talk. There's conversation between the characters when you see them walking around like that. They have some dynamic with the main character when they talk to them, whether it's rumors, requests, stuff like that. I think that'll actually work too. Offering certain services that are more slice of life, I think that'll work. So those are just them just my 10 ideas for a Fallout 3 remake. And you can tell how unprofessional I am because I forgot to shoot the intro video when I came in. That's how excited I was to talk about this video. But those are my top 10 ideas for Fallout 3 Remaster. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I would like to see them dive into this because I think Fallout 3 has so much potential as a remaster. And maybe they'll go the Oblivion route where they will bump up some stuff, but not full scale remake it like Resident Evil 4 was. But still, I think that they have an opportunity to implement so many mechanics from the later games to make it a better game. Ultimately, make it a better game, and that's definitely a game. Like if they did that, I would definitely run to get an Xbox, the newest Xbox, to get that game because I'm just that much of a Fallout fan. But just not even that. Those are just some things for Fallout 3. We ain't even talked about New Vegas yet. That could be a completely separate video. But having said that, guys, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. Did you agree with any of my points? And if not, let me know in the comment section below. What points would you like to see? What would be some things you want to see in a remaster of Fallout 3? Be sure to hit that like, share, subscribe, and that notification button to get the best of what we got going on this channel, and we'll definitely catch you guys later. Yeah, I messed up and clicked the wrong button and forgot to delete that. So yeah, I saw something from a previous video. All right, peace out.